Pretty much. And I remember, real quick, I want to throw this one aside because even I'm guilty of this. When I got saved, I really thought I didn't think the Old Testament had anything to do with my life now. I was just unlearned. I'm like, that's old. That's why he calls it. I even blamed it on God. That's why he called it the Old Testament. And now you see the scripture, he said, all things become new. That ain't what it meant. You know, it's okay for little kids, but you're a grown adult and you're trying to use those scriptures and bend the scriptures around your life instead of your life around the scriptures. And that's really what it comes down to for everybody in here when it comes to deliverance. You're either going to bend that scripture to meet your life or you're going to bend your life to meet the scripture. That's what it basically comes down to. That's like this stuff. And the reason why Christmas is one... last night in studies, 96% of the population, not USA, 96% of the population, that's only 4% that don't observe it. Wow. And I don't even want to know what percent of that is Christians. And it has to be a lot. Because I'm saying 96% of the population, the people who are supposed to be the light. Wow. And on the CD that I'm going to give you, this guy breaks out a point. He says that pastors, they took a poll, and pastors say their tithes and offerings that are all-time low during this time. So not only are you're not speaking the truth, but because you're not speaking the truth and upholding the truth, your ministry is going to suffer financially. It's a curse already because you want to erect a tree and be all and sing. Come on, man. Some stuff, like I said, it's just like, I mean, it grieves me. It grieves me. And I pray for them when I drive past major ministries. And I see the tree right there in the window. The first thing I'm like, come on, man. I know we ain't the only person got that email from God. We are not the only ministry that got that word. This is serious. 96%. You talk about one accord. And see, the problem with a lot of us, too, that's one thing, the scripture that stuck out to me last night, too, is talking about not going along with the crowd. I used to wonder how so many people end up with, you know, they had them little things where we're going to go march on something, we're going to go march for this, we're going to march for that. How do these people get off of work at the same time? Everybody had a sick day? Like I said, you call a prayer meeting, well, I got to work. Right. I'm like, some stuff is just flat out common sense to me. I'm like, well, I can't take off anyway. This is going to cause people to go one way or the other, as usual. Oh, yeah, I love this one. Santa Claus.
Couple paragraphs here, I'm just going to read them. Santa Claus was born in the U.S. in the 1860s. He was named this as he had a white beard and a belly, so he was named Santa Claus, as this was the Dutch word for St. Nicholas, Santa Claus. Although the Dutch had brought him with them in the 17th century, he did not become an important person at Christmas until the novelist Washington Irving put him in a novel that he wrote in 1809. The first Santa Claus was still known as St. Nicholas. He did smoke a pipe and fly around in a wagon without any reindeer, but he did not have his red suit or live at the North Pole. It's because that's what the god Thor did. He did, however, bring presents to children every year. In 1863, he was given the name Santa Claus and wore the red suit, pipe, and his reindeer sleigh. St. Nicholas was worshipped by a cult who changed his non-materialistic practice into the Saturnalia materialism by emperors, where emperors literally demanded that people buy them gifts. That's why they worshipped them. Saturnalia. And for those of you who do not know, he's called Old Saint Nick. Old Nick is the name for the devil, literally. It's one of the devil's nicknames, Old Nick. And it's just like the devil to try to call himself a saint, Old Saint Nick. Yeah.